What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video on Dark Knight's Metal. Now, in this video, we'll be starting off the story of pretty much Bats Out of Hell, a 4-part crossover that is between Dark Knight's Metal number 3 and number 4. Now, in this story, we pretty much see different Justice League members go against the evil Batman. Now, as we remember, there's 7 evil Batman that pretty much came into our universe when Batman was transported to the Dark Multiverse and Barbados came out. Because what the Core Vials did was they exposed Batman to all these different metals. Promethium, Dionysium, Electrum, and all different ones. There's 5 of them, Batmanium and Nymphmel. But what happened through this was he was in transport, Barbados came out, and he took over the world. And what happened next was Superman was left behind and he wanted to go save Batman, and we pick up in this issue with Superman and Flash pretty much racing, and Flash is going to push Superman through a portal into the Dark Multiverse to save Batman. And we'll see how all this chaos pretty much unfolds. But guys, if you end up liking the video, give a big thumbs up and YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next part of Bats Out of Hell. But yeah guys, enough this intro, let's get to Bats Out of Hell, part 1. So guys, diving into this issue, we got a dope cover right here, and this is actually the variant cover. This is the main cover. The main cover is actually shows like Flash fighting Red Death and like racing each other, where this one shows like Flash pretty much falling into the Dark Multiverse as Red Death is just looking at him, but still pretty cool cover. But guys, as we move in, we first see, like I said, Flash and Superman racing each other, and it says Bats Out of Hell Part 1. It's a cool splash page to open up the book. And we see Flash saying, my name is Barry Allen, I'm the Flash. He's like, Superman and I have raced before, but this time I want him to win. When Flash and Superman actually race, many times they're pretty much tied and stuff, but we know that Flash pretty much wins. He would beat Superman, but this time he needs Superman to outrace him so he can push him to the Dark Multiverse. And Flash explains that it's been 7 days since pretty much Challenger's Mountain has erupted out of the Dark Multiverse and has came in Gotham City. And that's where Barbados is. That's where Batman Who Laughs is, and where all the chaos is going down. But it's pretty much like that central point. And what he's saying is that pretty much it was like a shot of a starting gun to like the end of the world. All this chaos is unfolding. And he says that the Demon Barbados came through, yet all these evil Batman come in, and they're evil versions of Bruce and evil versions of the Justice League. So like, for example, like the Murder Machine, which is pretty much an evil version of Batman, but also an evil version of Cyborg. Now, what we see is he's like, nothing seems real. I run, but we lose. And it shows an image of Batman getting sucked into the Dark Multiverse. He's like, I keep going, it hurts. And it shows Central City. It's pretty much been taken over by Red Death. And he keeps going, eventually gets Superman through the portal, and he created this pretty much like a recap of issue number 3, where he's like, oh, all the different heroes are assembling a group trying to figure out answers while I pretty much make this plan. And actually at the same time as this is happening, Wonder Woman, Contra Saunders, and Dr. Fate are going to like the Rock of Eternity to get Nymphmel. Green Lantern and Plastic Man and Miss Terrific are going to like space to Vanguard Prime, which is like the home of Hawkman, to get Nymphmel. And then we got Aquaman and Deathstroke going to Atlantis to get Nymphmel, because Nymphmel is like the main thing that can beat these Dark Knights. But Flash gets him through, and he's happy. He's like, alright, we did it. And then we have Steel come by, and he's like, do you really think this will work? Do you think Superman can save Batman? And Flash is like, this is some of the worst things we encounter, nightmares, all sorts of chaos. But he's like, how can you see Superman fly and not be inspired? He's like, we're gonna win. We're gonna push past this. And he's talking to Steel, and Steel, so he looks at the Cosmic Tuning Fork, because where they're at is the Fortress of Solitude, alright? They're running around racing the Fortress of Solitude, and Steel's like, I gotta study this, like, Cosmic Tuning Fork soon, because it's very interesting. And Flash's like, no, you don't have to study that, I know about it, because what the Cosmic Tuning Fork does is, it's pretty much like a portal transportation between different universes. So if you go through it, you can make it to the Dark Multiverse, you can make it to a whole nother universe, and that's what Superman did. Well, actually, Flash and Superman did. And what we see is Flash then pretty much signals to Justice League, see how they're doing, and Wonder Woman, Dr. Fate, and Contra Saunders are like, we're not doing so good, we're not finding no Nymphmel, we're actually running into like the 7 evil deadly sins. And then we got Green Lantern and Miss Terrific, and they're going through space, and they're like, oh, we're in space and we're out into the unknown. We don't know what we're gonna find. We may run into like danger. Then we have Aquaman and Deathstroke, and Aquaman's like, man, I'm paired up with Deathstroke, pretty much a villain. This isn't working out well, but I'm gonna risk Atlantis in order to save the world. Now Flash says, okay, I carried out my thing. I got Superman through. Me and Steel did ours. So how can we help? But that's when Cyborg pretty much signals in, and he says, Flash, you guys need to go. They're coming after you. He's like, they are coming for you now. And that's when pretty much Wonder Woman, all these different groups, we see Dr. Fate, Wonder Woman, Conscious Andrews, she's like pulled through like a boom tube, which guys, like a boom tube, it's what's used to like transport you at other places. That's what actually happens to like Apocalypse. So where Darkseid is, you use boom tubes to like transport it to Earth. But in this case, Barbados and Boundary Glass is using it to like suck all these different heroes to another realm. Now, Wonder Woman gets sucked through this. Dr. Fate and Contra Saunders is left behind to get Nithmel, while Green Lantern is sucked through this portal, but then Miss Terrific is left behind, and then Deathstroke's left behind, and Aquaman is sucked through it. So pretty much, the evil Batman are not going after this like subpart heroes. They're just going after the main Justice League members. And what we see next is Flash is like, guys, talk to me, where are you at? And they're all gone, guys, they're gone. And then Flash looks up, he's like, oh, is Cyborg coming here? And it turns out it's Devastator and Mer Machine. And then Steel says, he's like, can I admit something? I never liked Batman. And Flash is like, no, you just need to get to know him, and you're about to have 2 chances to do that. And Mer Machine comes through, he's like, I got the Man of Steel, he's pretty much gonna go after Steel. And we have Devastator, he's like, okay, he's yours, I already killed a Man of Steel. And we actually saw it in Devastator's origin story where he killed Superman, so that's a big deal. But what we see next is Steel tries to fight Mer Machine, but the Mer Machine pretty much disables him, beats him up. Flash tries to stop pretty much the Devastator, but Devastator's super fast. He's as fast as Superman. And Devastator then goes to pretty much attack the Cosmic Tuning Fork, breaks it. Like, guys, check this out. He destroys the Cosmic Tuning Fork. His whole goal is to get the Cosmic Tuning Fork back to Barbados, but he's going to rebuild it first. And Boundary Glass actually kind of doubted him. He's like, hey, you haven't did your job yet. It's taking you too long. Devastator's like, don't doubt me. I'll carry out my job. And what we see next is Flash is like pretty much frightened. He's like, pretty much, he's afraid that now Batman and Superman are stuck in the dark multiverse because that Cosmic Tuning Fork was the only way they'd get back. And Devastator just destroyed it. And remember, she's like, oh, the Flash, it's Barry. Hey, you want to join us? And Steel says, run, Barry, run, leave. I'll deal with this myself. And Flash is like, okay, I'll go. And Mer Machine's like, on my Earth, you're pretty much good at dying. That's all you're worth. The Flash is only good at dying. And Flash is like, yeah, well, I have a bad habit, racing death and winning. And he runs through a portal, getting away, runs super fast, but it's actually into a trap. And as he goes through, he makes it into the Central City. And he says, he's like, damn, they taunted me into a trap, and I don't know where I'm going. He's in Central City. He may have just ran into danger. And he sees Iris and Wally. All these people are like old and stuff. They're getting the life force sucked out of them because Red Death took over like Central City and had all these bats fly around. And what these bats do is pretty much suck the life force from you and you become older, and that's not good. But Flash comes to Iris and Wally. He's like, oh, I'm gonna help you guys. I'll save you. But then he falls to the ground, and it's like pretty much a bat cave. But as he's falling, it says, in the end, all roads lead to darkness. And you see all these different images, and pretty much Flash is going through all this different trauma. And you see images of pretty much a future Flash with Iris, they're married. You see another image of Reverse Flash and like the roads. You see Godspeed versus Flash. You see pretty much Flash like Anti-Monitor, which you're like, that hasn't happened yet in like the DC universe. But it would be pretty dope if like Flash became as powerful as the Anti-Monitor. Like that'd be really interesting. What we see next is like Flash, and below him is like Wally and like the 2 Wallys, Wally West, like the ginger one, like with the red hair, and then we have the other Wally, it's like the black version. You have both of them on the floor and they're dead. Flash is just like in pain. So all these different nightmares that Flash has, he's like pretty much going through them in like a matter of seconds. Now, the next part, we see him arrive in like darkness, and he finally signals the different like Justice League members again. So pretty much Flash is stuck in a Batcave, Aquaman's stuck in a Batcave, they're like separate. Green Lantern is stuck, Wonder Woman's stuck, and Cyborg says, he's like, I'm trying to keep the signal between us so we can talk, but what Barbados is planning to do is terrible, and then he cuts off. Now all the different Justice League members pretty much can't hear each other, but they hear a voice pretty much above. And that voice, Flash thinks it's Bruce at first, because it says everything's gonna be okay. It's like, look toward the light. And Flash is like, is it you, Bruce? Are you stuck down here with us? It's like, oh, maybe some hope, because Batman would get us out of here. But it's the Batman who laughs who's speaking. And you see Flash in like he's in this one Batcave that has all sand and stuff. It's like designed to pretty much go against him. Same as Green Lantern, he's stuck in a Batcave that's full of like different like evil constructs. And then there's a Batcave where Aquaman's stuck at, where it's stuck with all these different evil creatures. And then we have Wonder Woman stuck in like a Batcave that has different bats. All these Batcaves are designed to pretty much kill these different like Justice League members. And Batman Blast says, he's like, I'm not the Bruce you're looking for, but I'm still Bruce Wayne, and I'm very smart. He's like, imagine 7 different Batmans, 7 different Bruce Waynes butting heads and coming up with a plan to kill you all. We'll be unstoppable. And he says that on my world, there was actually a story where I came up with ways to defeat all the Justice League members, and when they found out, they pretty much were mad at me. They didn't trust me. It was a very dark time for the League. But I set up well, so now I have all these plans and I can use them to kill you guys. And guys, the story that it's referencing is actually the Tower of Babel storyline, and in that storyline, Batman pretty much had all these plans to defeat Justice League members if they ever like went mad, like Superman went evil, so Batman would have the tools to beat him. But what happened was Ra's al Ghul got these plans and used them against the Justice League, and Batman had to pretty much own up to this. And Batman Last says, I hope you appreciate our work, because this is where you're gonna die. And we see Red Death fighting Flash, hitting him in the face. We see Dawnbreaker coming at Green Lantern. We see the drowning, Batman the Drowned going against Aquaman. Wonder Woman fight out the Merciless. And Flash ends this issue off with saying, I can hear Bruce's voice. But for the first time, it's not telling me to go faster. It's telling me that there's nowhere left to run. Because at the beginning of this issue, he was saying that Batman always told him to run. Run to the end of time, always save lives, keep running. But here, the Batman Last is saying, this is the end of the road, you're gonna die. And then it says, next time in Justice League number 32, Bats Out of Hell, Part 2, and we'll see all the Justice League members going against the evil Batman. It's gonna be pretty epic, guys, but this issue is more setup. So with the explaining part of this video out of the way, let's get to my review. Bats Out of Hell, Part 1. Now guys, this issue is pretty quick. There wasn't a lot in it. Like, all you saw really was, okay, a quick recap of what's been going on in Dark Knight's Metal. Then you saw where all the Justice League members were at. Then they got transported to Batcaves. They're stuck in there. Flash went through some trauma, made it there, and now they're stuck in like these Batcaves and fight out the different evil Batman, and they're meant to die there. Batman Last pretty much set this all up for them to die. And that's it. That's all that happened. So not a lot. It's more just like setup, quick setup. But still, it's a pretty great issue. And the main reason because of that, like why I think it's a great issue, is because Howard Porter. Like, his art in this issue is good. Like, it looks really good. Especially like the adult page, splash page, where you see all the different like Justice League members. And like Barry, like he's like monologue by like Joshua Williams, like his writing is really good, guys. Especially the part that like, oh, Batman always told me to keep running, don't stop, like run, Barry, run. But at the end, pretty much Batman Last is telling exact opposite. He's telling him that this is the end. There's nowhere left to run. You're gonna die here. And it really sells that like tone of like darkness, and this may be like the Justice League's final battle against all these evil Batman. But honestly, this isn't like this. But obviously, they beat the Dark Knights, all the evil Batman later on in the story. But for now, this is a pretty cool crossover and like an interlude storyline between like issue number 3 and issue number 4. And that's why I'm gonna give this first part an 8 out of 10. I recommend it. It's not like the greatest. Like, it's not really like super awesome or whatever. Like, yeah, you see some racing, some battles, but it really starts to get good in part 2, which I'll cover next. But guys, if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next part in this Bats Out of Hell storyline. But yeah, guys, that's the video, and peace out.